Ho, ho, ho. And guess what time of the year is? It is December, which means we are now doing Christmas movies. As October we did Halloween type, now we're doing Christmas type. And there is no better way, I think, to start off our Christmas season by doing Ernest Saves Christmas. I loved this movie as a kid. But am I still gonna love it? Is it gonna be as enjoyable as I remember it to be? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's get to the movie. But before that, please like the video, subscribe, comment down, tell me what your favorite Christmas movie is. Do you like this Christmas movie? Have you ever even heard of this Christmas movie? Let me know, and let's get to the movie. So, movie starts off with this intro of all these Santa Clauses. There is a lot of Coca-Cola ones, which I know at one point that was like a thing where Santa was doing the Coca-Cola commercials and everything. But, there are some of the Santas on here are kind of creepy. There's one in particular that I thought was just creepy as hell. Like, it was by far the creepiest Santa I've ever seen, and I don't ever want to see that in my life ever again. But we get a nice little intro of Santa explaining how he needs to find a successor, and he's coming to Miami or Florida. I don't remember what part they said they were in. But he's coming to Florida to meet a guy called Joe Carruthers. And he is apparently supposed to be his heir apparent, because that's who's going to get all of Santa's powers. He's got to transfer it all over before midnight, otherwise there is no more Santa Claus. So we get a nice little intro of Santa. Then we find out Ernest is by far the worst cab driver ever. I mean, there are some terrible cab drivers, but dear God, this man gets shot out of the back seat of the cab. One, that's fascinating that he was even able to get shot out of the car like that. Two, the fact that he was still in a sitting position is impressive. Also, I just want to point out that Ernest's car, or his taxi, is 69. That's awesome. That's nice. So, Ernest is getting this man to the airport the most ridiculous way ever. I mean, I'm shocked this man isn't dead, and Ernest hasn't gotten his butt kicked by anybody yet. So he ends up running into Santa Claus here, ends up giving him a ride, figuring, hey, I'm going to help out Santa here, because why the heck not? It's the Christmas spirit, because it's Ernest, you know? Why wouldn't he do something like that? So you get a little sneak peek of the reindeer also in this intro part of it, which is pretty nice. They already throw the reindeer into it. We also meet our third character in this movie. Harmony Star is what they call her, but her real name is Pam Neston, I think it is. Let me double check that, but I think Pamela Trenton. So I was completely wrong. But yes, she is a girl who's basically been run away from her parents, because I guess home life's not doing well. So running away is a whole lot better, I guess. Not sure where that logic comes in, but yeah, she runs into these two guys, and I'm not gonna lie, when Ernest and her meet Santa, like when she meets them, it's just, I find it so hilarious. And then she looks back at him, and after he said, I'm Santa Claus, he's like, surprise. And I don't know why. It made me laugh. I really did get a good chuckle out of it. So Ernest drops him off to meet Joe to tell him, hey, you're going to be my new Santa Claus. Obviously, nobody believes him, because there's an old man walking around saying, I'm Santa. You're going to be Santa. I am not Mr. Santos. I am not Mr. Santos. I am Santa. So nobody believes them, which kind of sucks. So they end up sending Santa to jail, which, Jesus Christ, like, did you have to send Santa to jail? Like, you couldn't possibly, giving him a warning and say, just go away. No, they end up sending Santa to jail, which, you're on the naughty list already. So, Ernest and them try to find out, like, hey, they realize, hey, this is the real guy. This is Santa. Like, his sack is got magic, which, oh my god, that just sounds so weird to say that. I'm going to say his bag because I'm not saying sack anymore, because it's just, obviously, the first thing that pops into my mind is something that isn't that. So they realize that it's the real guy, so they got to find a way to bust him out of jail, which puts a lot of cops in, like, I don't know, it puts them on edge. It makes them feel very uncomfortable, which is kind of a messed up way to get in there, but hey, I guess they needed to break Santa out of jail, which they basically broke Santa out of jail, and those cops let him do that. Like, damn, you guys suck at your job. Like, you have one job, to keep the prisoners in the jail cells, not out of the jail cells. So they end up getting Santa out of there, trying to find this Joe guy, trying to help him find a way. So Ernest does one of his many disguises that he does. Like, he always has to have at least 3 different characters in these movies. So, finds a disguise to find out where Joe is at. Then he has another disguise to get into this movie lot, because Joe is going to be part of a new movie because the show got canceled, which sucks. And one of the movie producer guys, like, roasts him at the end of it. He's saying, you were on a crappy TV show that ended up getting canceled. Am I right? Like, be thankful you're getting a job. So, like, that's bogus. So they try to get him back. They try and convince him again. Santa doesn't like how this movie is, because it's called Santa's Slay. Like, slay with S-L-A-Y. They even have a whole spiel about that. Like, Jesus, like just get to the point. Just say it's S-A-L-A-Y. Like, there's no reason why it takes 20 minutes to say that. So Santa doesn't like that. He's going to be part of this type of movie, you know, with killing, swearing. So Santa ends up punching the director, which I am sure has happened many times on movie sets before. Maybe not exactly punching, but, you know, Christian Bale having that meltdown back on Terminator basically says people have meltdowns on sets. Like, the pressure, the time you do, like, I'm sure it's bound to happen. So, but Santa's just coming in here throwing haymakers. Like, damn, Santa, like, can you give this guy, like, a warning or, like, a, hey, I'm gonna pop you one? I mean, Jesus. So, as all of this is going on, Tommy and Bobby are having issues with these reindeer. First, they don't know what the hell they are. They think they're aliens at one point. Then they call animal control, trying to figure out what the hell is going on around here. They have no idea what's going on, so they're waiting for people to come pick this up. They, like, splice it in there every once in a while, which I do enjoy watching it. Like, I do find that kind of funny, how there's just these 2 guys, and I'm like, yeah, there's just freaking reindeer chilling up on the ceiling there. Like, anybody want to help us? Oh, no, yeah, we're not. Animal control, yeah, we're not doing that crap, or you guys are screwed. So as Santa and Joe are having their conversation and everything, Pamela starts realizing she's trying to take stuff out of the sack, realizing, hey, I'm just going to take this for myself, head on out, leave these 2 fools, and be like, see ya, because I don't need to be with you guys. So, after all of that, Santa goes and talks to Joe again, thinking that he's got him, like, convinced that he is Santa, but no luck. Santa's down on his luck. Gotta try and figure out something. So, Ernest, well, before he goes to Joe and stuff, Ernest and him split up. So, Ernest is gonna go pick up the sleigh and the reindeer and the elves. Santa's gonna go talk to Joe. So, like, they're all split up, so they have no idea what's going on. So, Ernest goes and gets the sleigh and the elves and the reindeer. Obviously, it goes Ernest shenanigan ways, where now he has to fly the sleigh because he ends up popping the tires on this truck, which, where did you get the sleigh from? Because I don't remember it being with the reindeer. Like, so where did the sleigh come from? Because the elves didn't fly on it. Why didn't Santa just fly on it? You know, he has to bring the sleigh to Joe. So why wouldn't you just bring it all at once? Like, why are you flying on an airplane to begin with? Also, you even show us that you have no money because you gave all your money to some kid in a toy game. Like, so how did you pay for a flight? Like, there is just questions there that were not answered. And Santa, like, I just don't understand why you went through all this trouble when you could have just flown there and saved yourself time. Because now you're trusting Ernest, who, the man with a million mistakes, is going to make a mistake. So Santa goes to the children's hospital, hoping that Joe will believe him, even though he said he doesn't, hoping that maybe something will convince him, saying, hey, come back. Obviously, there's something going on. So obviously, Joe comes back, getting there before 7 o'clock. Obviously, Pamela, waiting at the train station, gonna head out, sees this little girl being made fun of by her brother. She comes to her senses, realizing, hey, I gotta get to Santa. Santa needs this. Otherwise, no kids are gonna believe Santa anymore. So everybody gets there, waiting on Ernest, who manages to get there because there is a clock in the back there that says the time. And I think when Santa is talking to the lady there, it says 6:57. So how the girl got there, how Joe got there, and then Ernest all got there all before 7 o'clock, I have no freaking idea. Because I think only like a minute goes by, or even I think it says 6:56. So it doesn't make any sense to me, like, at all. So, like, I'm just no idea what the hell is going on there. But they all make it in time. The new Santa Joe, I guess, lets Ernest and Pamela come for a ride, and they go and deliver all the toys and have a great holiday. And yeah, that seemed like it was rushed, but 10 minutes of explaining, I don't think that really is. Obviously, I could sit here and talk about the little small details in there, but that's what the grading and my ratings are for, basically. So, before we get into that, let me get to the characters in this movie before we even get started. So, let's get our main cast here. I'm not going to do all these side characters. I'm doing the main people we run into. So, we got Jim Varney, of course, playing the legendary Ernest P. Worrell. We got Douglas Seal playing Santa Claus, a.k.a. Seth Applegate, because that's what his actual name is, other than Santa. We got Oliver Clark playing Joe Carruthers. And we've got Noelle Parker playing Harmony Starr, also Pamela Trenton. So, how did well, first, actually, let me tell you how this was rated on Tomatoes. So, it got a 36% by reviewers, and it got a 42% on audience. So, clearly people weren't as in love with this as I would assume some people were. Obviously, this seems like it's more of a nostalgia kick than anything, so I guess I can get why people don't get it. I get the cheese in this, but, you know, some movies, it's more about, can you watch a movie and get enjoyment out of it? Like, are you going to watch this movie and find some enjoyment out of it, or are you just going to critique it for being the cheesy Christmas movie that it is? Like, you know, sometimes you got to go into watching a movie expecting, like, hey, this is what this type of movie is. Will I get any enjoyment out of this at all? So, to me, in my eyes, I'm giving this a B-. I still love this movie. I have probably seen this movie multiple times, and I still love every bit of it. I can still see some of the problems here and there, but overall, I love this movie still. This is still one of my top Christmas movies that I will watch every year. I always have to make it a point to try and watch this movie during Christmas. Like, I love this. Is like my Christmas Story, my Home Alone type of movie where I have to watch it every year. So I am giving it a B-. Let me do the cons first. Let me get those out of the way. Santa's powers, they never really explain what Santa can and cannot do. Like, obviously some movies show what Santa can do and what his powers are, but like there's no explanation of what his powers are, how strong his powers are. So, like, they never let you know what Santa can do. Like, there's just sometimes I'm wondering, well, why didn't you just do that, Santa? Or why didn't you do that? It just seems like there was probably ways Santa could have gotten out of stuff. Obviously, I know movie logic, they can't let him do it, but it just made it seem like I have no idea what Santa can do power-wise. Also, another problem I had was, how did Pamela manage to survive out on her own for a month? Like, she said she ran away a month ago. What have you been doing for food and scrap? Like, are you just eating scraps out of the junk? Like, when we meet her, she's basically, dine and dashing. So, how are you ended up not going in jail or dead? Like, nowadays, I feel like that couldn't happen. You're going to get kidnapped and chopped up into little pieces. Like, how did you survive a month with no job or anything like that? So I don't get that at all. And that kind of bothered me after she said it. Like, wait, yeah, how did you survive? Like, you've been gone a month? Like, explain that to me. So that kind of maybe ruined it a little bit, making me wonder and question all of this. But the pros, let's get into that. So I love how they introduce all the characters in this movie, like the main cast. You basically get from just their first scene what kind of person they are. Like, obviously, Santa being this jolly old man, believing in everybody. Joe's this nice, friendly kid guy who gets along with the kids and basically is right for the next Santa Claus. You get Ernest showing how crazy and nuts he is with his whole taxi driving scene here. It's just kind of nuts. And Pamela, you find out, she's kind of basically a liar and always running away from her problems. Like, she never faces them. So it's like, I like the way they introduce the main cast there. It's a nice way of showing without telling us who they are in a way. Like, I did enjoy that very much. Also, you gotta give it to Ernest. Like, he is always going to be a pro in my eyes. Like, no matter what, he's a pro in my eyes. Like, he's by far the best part of the movie. And he should be. It's his movie, basically. So he is by far definitely a pro no matter what. Also, I love the Vern scene when he goes and meets Vern. Like, I know they had a TV show where I think it's called Hey Vern, where he basically goes and talks to this guy Vern in POV. And I love that scene so much. Like, I know he destroys this dude's house and everything and then just walks away. But I just love the Vern scene so much. I laugh at it almost every single time I watch it. Also, the whole Santa transferring powers, I like how that kind of works. Like, I know in the movie The Santa Claus, like, it seems like every Santa Claus movie, when there's one Santa Claus, you know, and he's going to become, and there's, like, someone else who's going to be Santa, they always have, like, a transfer in a way. I know in the movie The Santa Claus, like, once a Santa dies, that goes to the person who basically was there when he died. But this is, like, a nice little interesting thing where the old Santa transfers all of his powers to the new guy, and that new guy basically gets it all. Like, he gets all the memories of all these kids, like, it's all fresh. Like, he is basically a new battery for a Santa. So instead of having to kill off Santa, they just transfer it to a new guy who's jolly, like, has all these traits as a good guy, you know? Like, I kind of like that. So it's not the hugest pro. I will say that. It's not the hugest pro in the world. Like, it might be like a low pro, maybe not even one. But it was something that I thought was pretty interesting. But yeah, I still enjoy this movie very much. I still get enjoyment out of it. It is still a top Christmas movie that I have to watch every year. But yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but I love this movie still. I also love the Ernest movies, so maybe I'll watch maybe I'll do Ernest Scared Stupid next Halloween. Maybe I'll do that, and then maybe I'll do the other Ernest movies that I have. I haven't seen all of them. Some of them I don't want to watch because it just seemed like they're kind of eh. Also, I forgot to mention it. The director of this movie is John Cherry, I believe it is. Let me check that. Yeah, John Cherry, who basically directed almost all the Ernest movies, it looked like. I think he was like the only guy who directed them. But yeah, maybe I'll rank maybe I'll review the Ernest movies that I have, rank them, see how they go. But yeah, that was Ernest Saves Christmas, and still hits me in the feels. Still love this movie, and I will go back and watch this movie time in and time out, no matter what. So let me know what your favorite Christmas movie is. Let me know what movie you want to see. I'll cover it. Maybe I can get it in before Christmas is over, before this month's over. I know this is the first week. Next week, I don't know what I'm going to do. I have an idea between Jack Frost, not that Jack Frost, the scary, cheap stupid horror Jack Frost. And then I'm not sure what the other one might be. It might be Home Alone, might be Jingle All the Way, Santa Claus, Claus, the Netflix movie. Like, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. But let me know. Tell me what your favorite movie is. And I appreciate you watching this movie. And I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah! I love you.